Apollo Cradle and Miracle Mediclinic and Apollo Spectra from Sector 82, Gurgaon. So today we are going to discuss, how to take care of the kids during the quarantine timing. So nowadays almost everyone is coming and asking us the same question that kids are not growing properly, they are not eating, they are always irritated. How to tackle this situation? It's a situation which is not at all normal, and this situation maybe it comes once in 100 years. So this situation is different, and we also have to tackle it differently. So, first of all, I wanted to mention that we have to tackle this situation from different aspects. Like, we have to tackle the situation from their nutrition perspective, from their mental development perspective, from the how they're socially growing and not. So, I will discuss all this one by one. So let's start. First of all, every mother comes and says that nowadays during this quarantine timing, my kids are not at all eating. Yes, it is true that kids are not eating because how their appetite will be formed when they are not doing the proper playing or physical activities are not normal. So naturally, we can expect a little bit of less appetite, but it's not that the appetite will be drastically reduced. So you can say like they will eat 70 to 80% of their normal daily diet, and if you force them then they will not eat that much also. So it's there should be an amicable situation. And but if you see that your kid is not eating, maybe it's 50% or less from the normal time, then you have to come to your pediatrician, and you should consult whether there is any infection or there is some underlying abnormality there or not. So, what you will give to, tackle this situation? What type of food which will improve the immunity, and what are the other things? So, first of all, you need to give lots of protein. There should be a protein-rich diet. You can give dry fruits also because they are just a powerhouse. You can give good amount of fruits and vegetables because that's every time it is required, but what is specialty because that will give the good supply of micronutrients, which are multivitamins, multi minerals. So you need to take care about these. Yeah, I can see some questions are popping up. How to deal with your child's fits and stress? Yeah, their fears. Kids are also scared. Even some kids they are asking that when we will get our shots, so when we'll be jabbed, so that I can come out and I can do some outdoor play. This is a very normal. So you have to keep a normal situation, normal atmosphere at home, not too much of stress, not too much of scary situation, and of course not too much of screen time also. So let's come to the mental development side. Like normally when a kid goes to the school and the kid plays with their friends and keeps a normal social life, they are in normal atmosphere, then the development is much better. Their concentration span also increases. But now you will see as they are always in front of the screen and they are doing their online class, then they are just playing online games and all. Naturally, if they are sitting in front of a screen for quite long time, naturally attention span will be decreased, they will have eye irritation, and at the end of the day they will be much irritated. So you have to take care of this part also, like not too much of screen time, and there should be some mutual games. If there are 2 3 kids at home, maybe they can play together. And when, I mean, it's the only child, maybe the parents can spend some time with some board games or puzzles, so that these things are taken care, because that will be the only social interaction in 24 hours, which previously used to be maybe 6 hours or 7 hours when they used to go to school. So I can see some other question. What can other family members do when a person is in isolation? Yes, that is another, situation. It's a very, it's a really tough situation, you can say, because when one person is at isolation, kids also are scared that what happened to my father or what happened to my mother. So the other person who are there at home, they should take care and they should fulfill that loss when what is there going on during that time, and they should always instill a positive feeling in the kid that whoever is sick, that is, he or she will be well in a short span of time, and you should stay away, because it will be for your good also and for your parents good also, because the infected person can give you some infection. I mean, you have not to hide something, you have to tell to the kid whatever is the actual situation, but in a manner, the way kid can understand. Next, I can see, can pets get coronavirus? Yes, probably you have seen some reports that a tiger and a dog also got coronavirus. So it's not abnormal that a pet also got infected with the virus. So this is another thing. So when somebody is in isolation, the pet also should be isolated from that specific person. Now, I wanted to tell you one point, that when you are, during this quarantine period, where you have to spend time with your kids, and along with that, you have to teach the good habits also. Even from the government or WHO, they also started many efforts for this. Like you can see some new paper series that wash your hands. So this is the new paper series where paper is washing her hands. So seeing that, your kids also will be, quite elated when they are washing their hands, and which is normally not their habit. And probably you have heard about another show, Akili Akili, which is from Ubongo, and that is also there. They also have started a new series, that washing hands with Akili. So all these things you can teach, all these good habits, like using mask and all. That's also you can teach through these. Of course, you will not show the screen for too long, but these are maybe just say 3 minutes or 5 minutes thing, and kids can learn from this, and they will practice the same thing, and after one time thing they can practice with their parents. So that way you can teach them the good habits while in quarantine. So you have to teach them the basic 3 things, like washing hands and maintaining the distance and using mask. So these things are most important, because why the quarantine period is there, because you have to be safe from the virus. So for that you have to teach the kids also, and while teaching that also will be a time when you are interacting with your kids. And probably all of us know that the more interaction will be with kids, when there is no other kid or no other sibling, then your only kid is dependent on you. So naturally, the more time you will spend with your kid, that will be better. I know that you also have some commitments. The parents also have lots of commitments for their workplace, but there should be, a balance, so that nothing is. I will not tell that you will just stop your work and you will just spend time with your kids. It's not that, but there will be a balance. So that is the main thing. You have to maintain the balance for your eating, also for kids. Social interaction point is only the parents or maybe the grandparents who are at home. And the development thing which you need to work a lot behind this, because nowadays who all are, kids maybe from 7 months onwards till 2.5 years to 3 years, we see a delay in their speech and all, because during this time, which is normally different in different situation, normal situation, kids interact with lots of people and their speech really gets enriched. But now they are not mixing with people, so their development, specifically social and language development, is only dependent on the parents or grandparents who are at home. So you have to work hard for this. So this will be my first advice, that nutrition, of course, and that development part. I can see some questions are popping up. Actually, today I got late, so there are. But don't worry, whatever question I could not answer, you please send to me. I will try to answer all the questions. Hmm. कोविड हो गया है तो क्या है वो कैसे तरह फ्यूचर, so less than 5 years old. So see, if your kid has got COVID, it's not that your kid will not get COVID again, because it develops on the antibody, how much antibody kid has developed. But again, that one type of antibody, because now so many different type of strains are coming, like delta plus, now lambda is also coming, so all of them are coming, and nobody knows that your immunity to one type of variants will work against different type of variants or not. So it's really really tough to say. And even antibody production for one kid, maybe the antibody amount is good, but the same amount of infection may not create that much antibody to a different kid. So this is it's a really tricky situation. Like, you can't say if your kid is having a one time COVID, he will be protected for next a different type of mutation and not. So that's a very tricky situation. I can see some other question I have received. 100. Okay, besides staying home and away from other people, does my family? Yeah, see, if you have developed COVID, of course you have to stay in isolation, because you should not spread your infection to the others, and you should explain it properly to all the household, who all are there at your household, your kids, because kids may feel scared when suddenly his or her father or mother is just staying in isolation. So it's a quite unnatural situation for them, that the parents are there at home but not talking to them or not coming out of the room. So you have to tackle this situation very critically and very tactfully. Maybe you can talk over phone sometimes. That again will boost up your kid's mind. And so I don't think any new questions. So किड्स के डाइट में क्या क्या इंक्लूड करना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. सो फॉर योर किड्स डाइट you have to increase the amount of protein, and you have to increase the amount of multivitamin, multiminerals, not always to the medicine. You have to include all type of vegetables and all type of fruits. And dal also, dal is a good source of protein. So naturally, if you are vegetarian, of course, every day dal should be there at least 2 times, and every day maybe some other sources also, maybe paneer or tofu, or even if you give a good amount of, a mixture of vegetarian food, that also will fulfill all type of amino acids, which are the basic proteins which we require every day. So even dal and rice or dal and roti, they are also complementary. So basically, you have to make your plate. You have to fulfill your plate with different type of food, not only just one thing. So you have to include rice or roti and dal and vegetable and curd. So all these things should be there, and every day at least one or two fruits should be there. Maybe you can see sometimes that your kid is not liking a fruit, or maybe he or she is not liking the vegetable. So you can offer the same thing in different format. Maybe if a kid is not liking the whole fruit, you can make a mango shake, or I mean some fruit shake, so or maybe fruit cream. So these things are little tricks, or which maybe you can make the best way out of the tricks. So मेरी एज वेट गेन नहीं हो रहा. Yes, that's I mean common question for all the parents. But one thing I wanted to mention, probably during these COVID times, you will see that babies are gaining more weight. So naturally, you have to be cautious for that also, that your baby should not gain a lots of weight during these COVID times, because they are not doing any playing, not doing any physical exercise. So naturally, the weight gain is more during that time. But if still your kid is not gaining weight, maybe I would advise you to contact your pediatrician, so that he or she will see whether any, I mean, internal infection or any deficiency is there or not. So you should not neglect it. Yes, pets also can get affected with the coronavirus. Tigers and even the pet, like dogs and cats, also can be affected. How to deal with your child's fears and stress? Yeah, the childs are, yes, they are fearful. They also know that if we go nowadays, actually it's continuing for quite some time. It's more than 1 year. Almost it's going to be 1.5 years. Now they also know that if we go out, might corona will affect us, and they are scared. They ask always that if I do this, will corona affect me? If I do that, will corona affect me? So you have to explain the thing in a childish way, but again, you will not hide anything. Like, and sometimes they are in stress also, because when corona is in the household, of course, that will create more stress. Even when it is not there, they will be in stress because they are not attending their schools for a quite long time, which they're eagerly waiting for opening the school, and that's not happening. So that's also again putting stress in them. So this is again one point. And so I mean, just to replenish that, you can pass time, you can invent different type of puzzles. Every time you are not going to buy a puzzle, so you can invent also something, maybe some board games also. Maybe you can do some craft with your kid. Maybe it will take just 5 minutes, but you can ask them, you can make some science project for them, which might create some interest. Even you can play with shadows, that is also a good idea. So all these things might, I mean, decrease their boredom, and this will decrease their stress. And for the fear, you will properly explain how corona gets transmitted, and what is the way you can, I mean, come out. I mean, you can prevent their transmission. You have to explain how to break the chain, and for that you have to teach them the basic 3 principles, like using mask, washing the hands, and keeping distance. So these 3 things your child should understand properly, so that they will not be in very much stress. They will not be fearful, because if you always say that, that don't touch this, don't touch that, your kid will be, I mean, they will do more. Then if you say no, your kid will do more. So not in that way. You just explain how to, I mean, how the corona gets transmitted. It's not that corona will be transmitted through the fomites, like touching things. maybe in the first wave you saw that corona was getting transmitted through the touching things and all, but in the second wave, it is more easily transmitted by the respiratory way. So that's why the keeping distance and using mask is the most important for the second wave. You never know what will happen for the third wave. What should I do? My child has symptoms of COVID. Yes, this is the point when you should rush or contact your pediatrician immediately, because in fact, we also don't know which person or which kid will be affected in what way. Maybe we saw in the first wave, we saw that almost like all kids are protected, they are not getting affected. In the second wave, we saw that even the kids affection rate was almost same as the adults. They are also getting affected. Even in some household, only the kids got affected and nobody else were coming as positive. And many kids, they develop severe symptoms also. So you never know which kid will develop the severe symptoms or not. So when you saw that your kids, you don't know it is COVID or not, but when you saw that some symptoms are there, you should see your doctor immediately, or at least contact by phone, because he or she will be the best judge to tell you how to deal that specific situation. Because corona also affects differently in different person, different kids. Maybe in some kids you will see only the diarrhea and vomiting, maybe in another kid you will see cough and cold. So that's why it's most important that you will contact your doctor. What can I do to cope with the effect of COVID-19 quarantine? So, to tackle the quarantine time, this is a very hard time. This is a struggling time. This is a challenging time. So, you have to struggle with the food, the nutrition part. You have to struggle with the development part for both language development, social development, and you have to tackle with the stress part of the kid. You have to tackle with the screen time also. So you have to put a balance for nutrition. You have to give the protein rich food and micronutrient rich food, like multivitamins, multiminerals through food. Secondly, for the social thing, as because we are now socially secluded, social distancing for the good cause. So at home, at least you will maintain a good social interaction time. Maybe you can fix a time for that in say 24-hour time. Maybe you will allot 1 hour or half an hour time, and maybe it's just some unplanned interaction also. That is for the social thing. For the language part, like for the kids who are at that age group, you have to continue talk to your kids. Maybe your kids is having some delay in speech, but still you should continue to talk to him, because if you talk more, the more quickly kids will, I mean, they will just record those vocabularies in their mind. So you have to keep this in mind. And the other thing is the stress. Yes, everyone is stressed. For the stress only, some people, some kids, they're eating more, some kids, they're not eating at all. So these things you should keep in mind. It's a stress. So it's not only the physical thing, it's mental thing also. So you will keep the kid mentally boosted up. And praising the kid, it's also a very good idea. Like even if he or she is doing a very small work, maybe you can involve them to the household work also. Maybe just your kid, maybe who is just 3 or 4 years old, putting the glass or putting the plates on the table, you can praise a lot for that, which will boosted them up. So these are the ways you can tackle the quarantine. So it's a trial time, struggle time, and you also have to take good part in it, to maintain the social interaction at home, and to fight away not only with your immunity but also with all the powers you have in you. So basically you have to give 100% to everywhere, for your work also and for your home environment also, for your kids also, so that it will not be a struggle time, maybe it will be a learning time also for you and also for your kid. So I think time is running out, but I mean, on this topic, there are lots of questions can come out because everybody is struggling during this challenging time. So I encourage you all to send all the questions to my page, and whenever you need help, you can reach to us. You can come to the hospital also whenever you are in need. The number is 0124 352 8282, and of course you can reach us on our Facebook pages also. You can contact me on my Facebook page, and on this video I'm requesting everyone to put their questions, and I would love to answer them all. So hopefully that's all, and wish you a happy parenting, and wish you, to fight against this challenging time. Both, of course, you all will be successful. Thank you all.